WBC reinstates Conor Benn, citing that he had too many eggs, and that caused a positive test. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the science. You the expert.
That's the Canelo way. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I think that if you get caught with any type of PED, it should be heavy consequences behind it. Like, I don't think a suspension is enough. You know what I mean? Because there's always some sort of beneficial factor of someone taking a PED for a competitive, combative fight. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're in a position of when you do something like that, you're gonna, it's kind of like you're taking PEDs to fight another person. So you're basically getting an advantage of something. You know what I mean? And it showed that back in the day, and that it didn't work for Fernando Vargas. You know what I mean? When he fought De La Hoya, or when he fought, other guys. And it's sad because sometimes it's an honest mistake. But also on the same token, I think certain fighters don't even know that they're taking shit. I think that they have so much loyalty behind their team that they don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like the whole Pacquiao thing. So I think Pacquiao, if he was taking anything back in the day, he didn't know. So what it is, like, right, you got a group of your whole team, and then you got your person who's in charge of your nutrition, whether it be your strength coach, whether it be your dietitian, whatever, nutritionist, however. And they say, okay, this pill is for this is vitamin D, this is vitamin K, I need you to take your vitamin B complex, so on and so forth, and then give it to him. He's like, okay, cool. And he's taking it. Then he's realizing that he's performing at such high level. So then he's like, damn, man, this shit feels good. But then he doesn't have no answer. Man, I'm getting cramps in the legs. Why is the cramps happening? Even though that could be numerous things. It could be lack of potassium, lack of sodium, rehydration. It could be lack of BCAAs. So much shit that's behind it. So I think most fighters probably don't even know that he was taking it. So like on the Canelo aspect, Canelo probably had an idea that they were feeding shit to animals, and they blow the animal's head off, and then next thing you know, boom, he's eating the shit. Or what Malcolm said, you are what you eat. So it does the same thing. Now, as far as Conor Benn, I don't know if his dad tested positive back in the day for some stuff. I'm not too sure.
Earl Spence kind of mentioned a situation where, like, the pop fainted before he was supposed to give out like a drug test or something like that. I don't remember. I wasn't really watching boxing.
Like, and at that point, it's like, I don't know. That could be anything. You know what I'm saying? We've seen who was it that was fighting and then almost passed out? Munguia. When Jamie Munguia was all dehydrated, he passed out on the fucking scale. You know what I mean? So it does happen. But again, for the record, man, and this is for anybody that's watching, if I offend you, I'm sorry, but I also don't care. Most coaches don't know shit about fucking nutrition. They don't know shit about rehydration. They don't know shit about body composition when it comes to body fat and things of that sort. They don't understand how it actually works. The human body is the greatest creation that's ever been made. So everybody's different. Just because it works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for another. You can come in as low as you want as possible for a fight. Doesn't mean that you're going to perform at your utmost best because of rehydration reasons. So, whatever works for you, fine. But sometimes if the fighter's the boss, I think the fighter should go out and invest their time and say, okay, why when I eat this, I'm feeling bloated? Why is it that, this makes me feel sleepy? For whatever the case is. Most fighters walk around at high weights. So when it's time for them to cut weight, they cutting 20, 30, 40 pounds sometimes. And sometimes it's not as healthy. You got guys like Bernard and Floyd that walk around light, and yeah, they could be small guys, but there's ways to do it. There's no such thing. If you look at the skeletal system and the muscular system of an actual anatomy of a human body, it all looks exactly the same. It's just length is different. So I don't want to hear none of that shit of, oh, he's just big bone. That's not real. You understand what I'm saying? So for guys like Conor Benn and Michel Rivera, you know, Michel had an incident where he had a diuretic, so he was trying to cut the weight. So in other words, you use the water pill because you can't get the water out of your system. That means that your sodium intake is too high because sodium retains water. That's your fucking fault. But then at the end of the day, too, I think he tweeted, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I think he tweeted he pays his team $10,000 to get certain things put together, and it doesn't work out for him. Guess what, bro? Just because you pay certain people to do certain jobs, they might not know this shit, or then you got guys who are lower end levels who are not so much popularized in the sport, but they know they got them shit. And then there's other people who are so popular, but they don't know shit. So it's like you gotta really do your homework and see what's best for your team, what's best for you. You know, and then when it comes to PEDs, if you get caught with PEDs, whether it's accidental, whether you didn't know, whether whatever the fuck, you should be suspended minimum a year. And, you know, your purse should be automatically given up. However way that works, I don't know. I'm not the motherfucker in there, but I tell you what, none of my guys had ever struggled with weight differences, with fatigues, nothing like that. If anything, it's more of a lack of communication between whatever's going on during camp to what is going on in boxing training. So if there's no communication, you can't really figure out what's fatiguing them, what's keeping them sore. So then it's my job, because at the end of the day, if you hire me to be the strength coach, then I take full responsibility whether it was my fault or not.